Welcome to the InfoGet. Today you get 20 interesting facts about the world. Number 1. There are more than 24 time zones around the world. If the Earth's time zones were each 1 hour apart, then we would have 24 time zones, which sounds pretty straightforward. However, the situation is a little more complicated than that. Since many time zones only differ by 30 or 45 minutes, they don't fit into a neat and tidy 24-hour span, which means that there are more than 24, though it's hard to say exactly how many. Number 2. Mount Everest is bigger now than the last time it was measured. Mount Everest may not have physically grown, having reached maturity a long time ago. However, the most recent measurement performed by surveyors representing China and Nepal has the mountain peak standing taller than we'd thought in the past. Previous readings have ranged from 29,002 feet above sea level in 1856 down to 20,029 in 1955, according to NPR. But after the long process of measuring the mountain with GPS devices, experts have now stated that Mount Everest stands at a whopping 29,031.69 feet due to plate tectonics. Number 3. The coldest temperature ever recorded was -144 degrees Fahrenheit. You might think you're accustomed to frigid air and blistery winds, but the average winter day has nothing on the coldest day ever recorded, which was -144 degrees Fahrenheit. The temperature was recorded in Antarctica during a span of research between 2004 and 2016. Just a few breaths of air at that temperature would induce hemorrhaging in your lungs and kill you. Number 4. South Sudan is the youngest country in the world. Some countries are hundreds of years old, while others can trace their nation's history back for thousands of years. But South Sudan in North Africa just gained its independence from Sudan in 2011, which currently makes it the youngest country in the world. Number 5. More people visit France than any other country. France is a beautiful country, so it's no surprise that more people want to visit France than any other country in the world, according to the United Nations World Tourism Organization. In 2017, the European country welcomed 86.9 million people. Spain was the second most popular destination with 81.8 million visitors, followed by the United States 76.9 million, China 60.7 million, and Italy 58.3 million. Number 6. The best place in the world to see rainbows is in Hawaii. If you're an avid rainbow gazer and want to get your fill of the beautiful phenomenon, look no further than the state of Hawaii. A study published by the American Meteorological Society in 2021 noted that the area's mountains produce sharp gradients in clouds and rainfall, which are key to abundant rainbow sightings. Air pollution, pollen, and a large amount of cresting waves also help to put Hawaii at the top of the list when it comes to rainbow quantity and quality. Number 7. The longest place name on the planet is 85 letters long. People who live in Maminkakumpur Range, Junja Hill, Australia, need a little patience when it comes to learning to spell their hometown's name. But you know what? So do the folks from Lake Sharjagagajman Shayagagaj Chaubanagungumug in Massachusetts and Twee Buffels Mateen Scoot Morsted Geskeet Fontie in South Africa. None of them have quite as much work to do when jotting down their address as those who live in Taumadawaka Tangi Hanako Oatamatichirai Pukakapaki Mangahora Nuka Pikai Wenu Akitanatao, New Zealand. Though, at 85 letters long, this is the longest place name in the world. Number 8. There are only 2 countries with names that begin with the. You might find yourself saying the before various countries and place names when referring to them, thanks to grammar and common pronunciation. Which is why we say the United States or the Maldives. However, only the Gambia and the Bahamas formally include the in their names. Number 9. Japan is the world's most earthquake-prone country. Earthquakes can range from minor tremors that are barely noticeable to building toppling ground shakers that cause massive destruction. But it's an inevitable part of life for those who live in countries such as China, Indonesia, Iran, and Turkey, which are some of the most earthquake-prone places on the planet. However, according to the USGS, Japan records the most earthquakes in the world. Number 10. Indonesia is home to some of the shortest people in the world. Though there are short people and tall people everywhere, Indonesia is home to some of the shortest people in the world, according to data compiled from various global sources by The Telegraph in 2017. When taking both genders into account, the average adult is around 5 feet, 1.8 inches. People in Bolivia don't tend to be much taller, with an average adult height of 5 feet, 2.4 inches. The tallest people among us live in the Netherlands, where the average adult height is 6 feet. Number 11. Muhammad is thought to be the most popular name in the world. The most popular name in the world is believed to be Muhammad. According to The Independent, an estimated 150 million men and boys around the world share this name. Number 12. 4 babies are born every second. Every second, we welcome 4 new babies into our overall population. Do a little mutt and you'll find out that means there are approximately 250 births each minute, 15,000 each hour, and 360,000 each day. Number 13. Nearly 2 people die each second. While 4 babies are born on Earth every second, it's estimated that around 2 people pass away at the same time. That means that 105 people die each minute, 6,316 people die each hour, 151,600 people die each day, and 55.3 million people die each year. Sorry, folks, not all interesting facts are fun. Number 14. More than 52% of the world's population is under 30 years old. According to the United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization UNESCO, as of 2012, 50.5% of the world's population were people under the age of 30. Around 89.7% of those young people live in emerging and developing economies like the Middle East and Africa. Number 15. People 60 years and older make up 12.3% of the global population. Although the majority of the human population is currently under 30 years old, there are still plenty of older folks among us. In fact, over 12% of people on Earth are 60 years old and older. That number is expected to reach 22% by 2050. Number 16. Dentistry is the oldest profession in the world. Dentistry goes all the way back to when humans first had teeth. Well, not quite that long. However, one study found evidence of teeth being drilled in skulls that dates from 7,500 to 9,000 years ago. The holes were likely made using a prehistoric bow drill. Could that be the work of the first dentist? Other biting research conducted by the University of Bologna, Italy, on a 14,000-year-old skull found that one rotten tooth in the jaw had been deliberately scoured and scraped with a tool, according to the BBC. That makes dentistry one of the oldest recorded professions and is definitely a reason to smile. Number 17. Africa and Asia are home to nearly 90% of the world's rural population. Not everyone lives in a booming city or sprawling suburb. Many people still make their homes outside of bustling locations, especially in India, which has the largest number of people living in rural areas. Approximately 893 million people live outside of the city. According to Reuters, China also has an impressively large rural population, with 578 million living outside of major centers. Number 18. There's only one country in the world that doesn't use the metric system. For simplicity's sake, most of the more than 200 countries in the world use the metric system when describing things like length or mass. However, there were recently 3 countries that stood out: Liberia, Myanmar, and the United States. In 2018, Liberia Commerce and Industry Minister Wilson Tarp said the government planned to adopt the metric system in order to promote accountability and transparency in trade, according to the Liberian Observer. Myanmar made a similar commitment, which leaves the US as the lone holdout. Number 19. The world's quietest room is located at Microsoft's headquarters in Washington State. Silence is golden, as they say. It certainly was the primary goal for those who built the quietest room in the world, located at Microsoft's headquarters in Redmond, Washington. The lab room measures a background noise of -20.35 dB, which is 20 decibels below the threshold of human hearing, and breaks previous records for spaces that were deemed the planet's quietest places. Number 20. North Korea and Cuba are the only places you can't buy Coca-Cola. No matter where you go, it's comforting to know you can always enjoy a Coca-Cola. Well, almost anywhere. While this fizzy drink is sold practically everywhere, it still hasn't officially made its way to North Korea or Cuba, according to the BBC. That's because these countries are under long-term US trade embargoes. However, some folks say you might be able to snag a sip of the stuff if you try hard enough, although it'll typically be a lot more expensive than what you would pay in the States and probably imported from a neighboring country such as Mexico or China. If you want to see more videos like that, subscribe now, the InfoGet, and like and share the video. Thanks for watching.